mics are working. Here I go again from behind the scenes of the captain's chair. I am King Benjamin Cage, and with me right now is
Taz the man. What's up?
Yeah, finally gets him over to the crib to get him on a stream.
Oh man, bro, I've been excited. I couldn't wait to get here.
This is also his first time seeing the man cave.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like I keep finding new shit every time I turn left or right too.
yeah,
It's pretty dope in here.
There's a lot of fucking eye candy here.
There definitely is. There definitely is.
Pretty fucking intense. But I'm running out of room. So, like, hit the like and subscribe and, fucking fund me so I can get a bigger spot and put an addition on my house and put more shit in it.
You definitely gonna need it soon.
Yeah. I'm out of room for fucking sure, man. Alright, first thing we're gonna review, and this is my first time seeing it, the Fantastic Four's new movie trailer. I think it's a trailer. It's popped up on YouTube, so I'm gonna go to the screen cap, and then I'm going to play the video. You can see what I see over there?
Yeah.
Alright.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
T-5.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi!
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
Yo, them cars are wild.
As a family.
All right, man. What do you think?
Looks interesting. I mean, it's a third reboot, so they definitely gave us like different shit to look at compared to like the other two. Looks like this one's kind of like the time period almost looks like it's like right after Captain America would have went missing. So I wonder if that's how they're gonna fit it into like the rest of the Marvel universe.
I think after reading a lot of this stuff that this is from another timeline and another reality and or both. I don't think it's connected to the current Marvel universe. And I believe what they're gearing towards is their universe is going to end, and they're going to end up fucking popping up over into the, through the multiverse into the current timeline or universal scale, and they're going to kind of merge them together for the up and coming Doomsday shit, the Avengers movies, where the Secret War stuff. A lot of this, I'm not super hype on this for several reasons. My reason, as a comic book fan, they've shit on the industry in the past couple of years. They've done a lot of stupid stuff, and they don't look like they really want to walk any of it back. And if they do you really want them having control of these properties, only to kind of pander back to where the fans were, but you've already lost so many of them because of the dumb shit they've done. Several reasons I'm not huge on seeing this. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to, but I'm not like going to be one of those first in line. I got to see a thing is, one, Pedro Pascal is a piece of shit. He's playing Mr. Fantastic. He's the one to me, like, one of the tweets they recalled half of the voting population communist, but his counterpart Gina Carano didn't state anything nearly as bad as what he did on Twitter, and she ended up losing her job. And he's a leftist cuckolder. And also, They took the Silver Surfer, Norrin Rad, and are making him a girl. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
The Silver Surfer's never been a girl.
So, I mean, there was like offshoot stories where I think it was like his girlfriend, Shala Ball, I think her name was, if I remember correctly. They made her the Silver Surfer. It might have been like a what if or whatever, or a one-off, but they never does anything. That's their excuse with a lot of these things where it happened in the comic books. We are keeping it canonical. It happened in the comic books briefly because you wanted to try that approach and it failed, so you went back to what it was. But if they were going to do that angle where they wanted a female Herald of Galactus, there's Frankie Ray, who is Nova, and they could have just used her rather than fucking gender swapping
The character altogether.
Yeah, like I don't want to see that. Like it's stupid. So, but I think aesthetically, it's supposed to be looking like it's from the '60s, and the uniforms are fucking corny, but they work in this trailer.
I don't know, man. I might have to cop me a pair of them bright blues.
Yeah.
With a 4 on it. I don't know who the other 3 people are. I'm gonna get to wear them
I
with
already
me.
got a hoodie with the Fantastic Four, so we just need 3 more. You're one of them.
I'm in.
So
Wear that bright blue.
maybe we can get Big Bad Brad Dylan on it.
Yo, that'd be awesome.
And then we just gotta pick a 4th. I don't know. We're taking applications.
Always.
It's gotta be female.
You know what? That fits. That definitely
Yeah,
fits.
it gotta be female. You gotta have your Sue Richards.
You got to.
Yeah.
But then that brings the other level. Like I call it being the Thing because fucking can't Brad. Brad's definitely bigger and stronger. So I guess I'll have to be your Johnny. I get to burn shit up, and I'm cool with that too.
Oh man. You two could arguably be either one of the others. I mean, you guys. I mean, especially the way you guys interact with each other. I can see that being a thing.
Man, he was just such a
I
bro
guess
from
that
the
leaves
joint.
me as Reed Richards. Wow.
You don't have a choice.
I'll be Victor Von Doom.
Ooh.
There we go. He stood in and helped out the Fantastic Four, even though like his beef is just with Reed. So, but no, all in all, it didn't look like a bad trailer. I just don't like the angle in which they're going with the Silver Surfer and the guy playing Reed Richards.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
I remember before all the political shit, like he was like they were like everything he was in, they were talking about how he's like everybody's dad. I'm just like dude's a good actor. But then of course with like everybody in acting, like once they start stating political views and whatnot, kind of just lose love.
Yeah. Like that's the difference now is everybody shills for who they shill for, and more often than not the people that get the dominant side of things, like where they're getting all these movie deals and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They've all backed
Yeah, certain people.
the leftist regime of craziness. But also, yeah, we've been looking to talk about this, so we don't even have anything on other than our faces on the screen right now. I don't have anything showing. As you all know, well, not as you all know, but if you're just tuning in, and some of you that been here before know that I'm libertarian, anarcho-capitalist. I've tried the voting game for quite some time. Always voted for I started off Democrat, figured out that's weird, and this is throughout my life. And then I went over to the Republican side when 9/11 happened. And then I found out 9/11 probably wasn't what they said it was, and so I'm like, wait a minute, the game is rigged. And so I started going like third party, like your Ron Pauls and other people that actually wanted liberty for the people. And then I just decided in the last couple of years, and I wished I'd came to this epiphany sooner, that anybody that was going to make any real change wasn't going to come from the two-party system.
No, not at all.
Because if voting changed anything at that point, it would be made illegal. Because they're all corporately owned and sponsored. That's who they make laws for. That's who they make legislation for. It's not for the people. They'll sit out here and chant whatever it is you want to hear, so you can give them you can give them your consent to govern them. But I'm transitioning to you voted a certain way this time, and you shared why you voted this way, and I could never advocate for that, because anybody that had this sign in the yard, like I said before in previous streams, I understand the attraction to Trump, although I believe a lot of it to be a facade. He said all the right things, like America first, this, that, and the other thing, and some of his policies moving forward so far are not actually bad, like getting rid of public education, talking about getting rid of federal income tax. These are things I'm completely fine with. Some of them I don't agree with, but you voted for Kamala Harris, and I'd love to give your spin as to why you voted Kamala Harris.
I knew this was gonna come up.
Oh hell yeah, it was.
I couldn't wait to share it either.
Let me sip on my fucking Polar Pop. Enjoy this response.
So, like, as I look back, I can honestly tell you, for me growing up, I did grow up Democratic. So like it was pushed on me to always vote Democratic, pay attention to what's going on around you and whatnot. I fell off with it. Politics hurt my head for a little bit when I was younger. But rushing all the way back up to like where we're at now, I just, like, I'm looking at America, I'm looking at people, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you get so much divide just between race when you like mention Donnie T's name. And like, I don't have hate for the dude. Again, some of those policies, they made sense. There was a lot where I'm just like, nah, absolutely not. I couldn't agree with that. But I think that's me like looking at it on a smaller scale. Like if I think about the stuff like just affecting me, then yeah, it'd be a bother. But at the same time, like when I think about it affecting like the whole nation, it might be pretty cool. I mean, we're gonna wait to see. But I voted Kamala. I voted Kamala for one reason only.
It's interesting.
I want to overthrow the government.
Stop. You're not
In a
gonna say that.
respectful way. In a respectful way. No. Like, I don't want to take over. I don't. But I think we need to, like, reset the whole fucking thing. I think it needs to be completely broken down and rebuilt up from the ground up to fit who we are as a nation today, rather than, like, who we were, what is it, like 400 years ago now?
Right.
400 or 500 years, that's how old it is.
No,
So
I think it's like almost 3.
almost 3. Yeah, see, like 300 years ago, the laws and life was fucking different than it is now.
Yeah.
So like, I know that they've been trying to add shit in here and there and whatnot else, but like, I don't know. I think it needs a full reset. I think voting for Kamala would have had us at the point where like, I didn't have to worry about a race war. We'd have been together on this shit and just like black, white, no matter what color you were, we were fucking sick of the government doing government bullshit. Right. And that would have been a lot better than Donnie T coming in here and like now half the nation is split race wise, and I don't like that.
No, I actually respect the 5D chess that you were playing right there, because that is going to be the left's thing. That's their built-in argument. Like, oh, it's race. Yeah. And a lot of these things that you're seeing being posted about things that he's done, we'll say, like, I think you shared it on your Facebook where he was getting rid of certain holidays that celebrated certain demographics and races, but he was doing it within the Defense Department. But the way they worded it was like a triggered response. Like they knew how to word it to a point where it was going to look like he was just getting rid of the holidays altogether. Wasn't what he was doing. Basically, he was saying, this is the Defense Department. We need to stay on like our job. All this other stuff,
right?
Do it outside of your job. Eliminate it from here because like our main priority is defense. So like until all this DEI shit gets washed away, maybe not have anything at all. But the headline for it was very like, wow, this dude wants to get rid of MLK Day and the Holocaust. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
that's just the way it was worded, and they got the response that it wanted. It was desired to have, and to garner that support against him. So when you say that the left is going to sit there and continue to attack it, that's why.
Yeah.
They're going to attack him. They're going to attack people that identify with him as such because a stupid triggered headlines like that without any, because a lot of people see something and as soon as they see the tag or the title or the cover of the book, they have already drawn the conclusion of the story without even going any deeper into it and actually seeing what the fuck it is about, what the context is about. Nobody's not available. Nobody's able to
Go back and do their research.
right. They just don't, and they don't care to, because they're more concerned with doing what's popular, what the majority of the people are doing, because they don't want to be shunned by other people. So they're going to sit there and they're going to align themselves with some position, albeit retarded as fuck as it is, and go, but everybody else is doing it, so yeah, I don't want to be unpopular. And that's why I don't believe that voting is actually the answer in a lot of cases, because common sense is not so fucking common.
No.
When you see people like that a person that cannot critically dissect something and go, oh, this is the way it works and this is why it works that way, then I have to share a government with them. I have to share a policy with them.
Yep.
Like, you obviously have an IQ in the 70s, if not lower. Then why should you get to call the shots? Why? I mean,
Why should we be on even ground sometimes?
Democracy, for the most part, democracy is tyranny of the majority, and the majority of the people don't have critical thinking skills. That's just where I'm at with it.
I wonder if that's going to change with the whole public education thing going away.
Speaking of what's transition?
Like, will we be doing better with critical thinking? Like, can we touch on that? Can people get better at that shit?
Let me see here.
Cause
Let me go to Xland and where are we going? Search. Oh, what's the topic here we're looking for is
Department of
public
Education.
education.
Yeah.
Pubic education. All right. Let's see what is going on there. Let's see if I got anything here. Student proficient. I'm looking for something on Twitter now that we can actually have a, point of reference and talk about. Oh, yeah, I definitely want to watch this video. So we're going to go to Screen Cap. Sorry, I have to talk myself through this because I'm still relatively new at this shit.
There was civility. We could disagree. We could have healthy conversations around what's best for kids. I respect differences of opinion. I don't have too much respect for people that are misbehaving in public and then acting as if they know what's right for kids.
Because
there was civility.
All right, that's all you had there. Public education right now is, I don't know what you derive from
Public education.
right. Yeah, like when they're saying Trump wants to get rid of it, what is your immediate response? What do you think about that?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd have to dig deeper into like how much public education, like, what he wants to get rid of. What is he trying to change? To me personally, I feel like we do need to do better at like kind of putting everybody in a position to learn the same shit. I don't think that we should really like we have classes. I just don't agree with classes, but at the same time, I feel like they're needed. I need to know, like, I don't want to know who I'm better than, but I need to know where the fuck to send these kids where they're gonna actually learn some like actual shit, the shit they need for life and everything else.
Right.
I don't think public education really does that. I think it kind of just keeps people like right where they're at. Like, I got some friends that never made it past fucking second grade reading level.
Right.
And like they were just never challenged to even go further. And we just had like that no kid left behind rule. And
that has been a failure, an abysmal failure.
A horrible fucking failure. And I was the kid with ADHD that like had help from the program, and I'm just like, y'all should have left my little ass behind like a year or two.
Right.
I'd figured it the fuck out and got better.
No Child Left Behind. I can speak on that real quick as somebody that adopted a child who had intellectual disabilities and learning disabilities. Probably would top out at the maximum as a 5th grade level intellect. And with the way No Child Left Behind was, is he had to have exposure to current curriculum. He didn't necessarily have to get it. He didn't have to understand it. But as long as he was exposed to it, he could be socially promoted and pushed forward, which basically left him a square peg going into several round holes, which just doesn't fucking work. Rather than going, okay, here's the concepts of time and going over them routinely so that he knew them and never would, slide out of pocket with that, or how to exchange currency and the value of money, just keeping it simple and doing that all the way through would have been more beneficial to him than going, oh, this is what this is. You don't understand it. Cool. Moving on.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't fucking learn anything from that.
Right. And as somebody who in school, and I could tell you that I was fucking terrible in school. I was worried about when I was going to get my next ass beating or my next meal. So like, I'm not the guy that's sitting across from you right now. It was a totally different kid, totally different set of life situations. Public education to me is controlled by the state. They'll tell you what to learn and when to learn it and how to learn it.
Yeah,
The removal of that needs to happen. I believe it should be an open market thing where like, okay, this is what they're teaching here. This is what I want my kid to learn. We're going to send them there.
Yeah.
Eliminate government control over what the kids are learning.
And I think that's what a lot of people miss with Donnie T is like a lot of his shit, a lot of his policy really is just like removing government control over it. Like essentially he's doing what I would want.
Right.
Without like getting favor for it because everybody doesn't see it that way sometimes.
I would say that we got to be careful with that because like you could just rebrand it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the government doesn't do it anymore, but a government subsidized company is now doing it. They just redirect the blame.
Yeah, I don't
you know
want
what I
that
mean?
either.
So like if it's authentic and he's doing it the way it's being portrayed as, but if he's just going to implement another angle of government to do it, no.
No.
Another thing to think about with the public education, a lot of people in a lot of schools, and I'll give you an instance here, when my older boys were younger, and it was like towards the end of summer or whatever, and then like they didn't really have anything going on. They had their classes caught up, and I go grab an hour early from school, and the teachers are like, well, do you have an excuse? And I look at them and go, well, I am the excuse. I'm his fucking father. Like, if I want my child, I should have my child.
I don't remember asking you permission to take my child.
Right. So like, I don't need, I don't believe I should have to do that. And there are other circumstances for like truancy where if a parent wants to take their child on vacation, and I've seen this happen to relatives and family members, where they have to sign a permission slip with the school in order to take their child on vacation.
Dumbest shit in the world.
Who the fuck are you? Like, what do you mean? And then if you don't do it, you get hit with a truancy fine. That's extortion.
You know how many truancy fines I had in school just for the simple fact that they used to have those like parent discretion days, during the winters up here, and like, ma'am, y'all fucking said I didn't have to show up.
Right. And then another thing, like, like people, some kids get sicker more than other kids.
Yeah.
And, these schools they're a breeding pool for sickness because everybody's, congregating together and somebody in somebody's family sick somewhere, and it's just this rotating door of illness.
And nobody fucking keeps their kids home because they don't want to deal with the kid being
right.
sick.
And then when you do keep your kids home, you've got to do what?
I gotta take care of them. I gotta do their schoolwork with them. I gotta deal with the truancy fucking charge.
Right, or you have to write an excuse, or you have to get a doctor's excuse after so many days. So then it's a racket. You got to go to the doctors now and have them validate that your kid was sick because your word on your child was not good enough.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, remove the state from public education. I am all fucking for it. Privatize, sure. Go right ahead. Have other people teach it. Private schools is probably the way to go.
I hear private schools are better for education. The only thing I've ever worried about is like I've had friends that complained about bullying, and as you know, like I teach my children how to fight back. So that's the only thing I've ever worried about with sending them to private school is I will have to show up and fight somebody's daddy lawyer,
right,
or lawyer daddy.
As somebody who is abused and picked on and beat up throughout school. Yeah, bullying exists, and that's pretty much what I did with my kids because I didn't like have my dad there to kind of like show me what I should do. I would say if you start a fight, you're going to be in trouble with me. if you finish the fight, I'm not going to punish you.
Exactly what I tell my son every time.
Yeah, like if you go starting shit, then yeah, dude, like there's consequences
Like
for
the
that.
teacher comes up, she's like, "Hey, so he went over, he started talking shit to the kid, he hit the kid first, all of that.
Yeah.
You're probably in trouble." But if that kid started with you and you, like, even with my son, someone's like, "Listen, if you think the first punch is coming from him and you want to act first,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that."
Yeah, if the posturing is there and they're looking like they're about to do it, they're in your face saying they're going to do X, Y, and Z. You better ABC them the fuck out.
Right away.
Yeah,
Like, don't hesitate, nothing, swing.
I've been put in a hospital. Like I've had my face caved in. Not a fun fucking time. I did not want that happening to any of my kids. So, yeah.
I had one stint with bullying, or with bullying, and it made me not go to school the next day. And then when my mom and dad found out about it, because my dad is like big in the youth work, like I was telling you before, I went to school like the next day, and the kid that had been bullying me got his shit wrung by like every upperclassman we had in the school, because I was like a freshman that year.
Yeah.
And it was it was probably the eye opener for me. After that, I started picking fights with every bully I could fucking find.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was not. And I think that probably made me the person I was today. Like going through it, there were times where I didn't even want to exist, if we're being completely honest, because it was just like, living with your head on a swivel was never a good way to live through things.
I'm glad you made it out, because like you're a great mentor of me now. So.
Well, I try, but and that's the only thing I can do is like I everything was like multiple choice, the process of elimination. So that's part of the reason I'm here. But a lot of people don't have the wherewithal to actually go through that, and they end up taking other. I don't support bullying in any ways, but I do support holding people accountable.
All the time.
Yeah, like if you're an asshole or you're an idiot, I'm going to fucking say it. I'm going to call it out. And now if they're wrong about something, I will at first try to politely go, as long as they're having a discussion with me, I'll kind of like redirect them in a way and going, hey, what about this angle? Maybe you're just not looking at it correctly. Or if they're just one of these people that gets online and sees what everybody else is saying and goes, yep, I'm gonna say it too, just differently. I'm cool.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I do that to see people's reactions. I just want to see like certain people's shit, and then they start commenting and telling you shit, and you're just like, God, you are stupid.
Yeah. No, and that's the blessing of social media, because you could run into these people on the daily, and they're a totally different energy when you meet them in person than when you see them online.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
Yeah, same. Like I know what you posted. I might not have liked or said anything about it, but like I really know the content of your character or the lack thereof. So like, and that also was kind of like. It's kind of like the inside of the cover of the book. Like everybody judges the book by book by its cover. You're seeing the contents of that person online and going, I know what type of discussions I can have with them and how deep they can go.
Right.
And I know whether or not I want to have them. So.
Yeah. People, they leave me wondering, like, quite often. But they're so fun to, like, It's just fun to play that game. Like I like watching them post shit on Facebook and TikTok and everywhere else. Fucking saying one thing, and then like I watch them like move through life and the choices they make, and I'm like, you fucking post it one way, but like your character moves exactly the fucking opposite.
Right.
Like, could you get those people to coexist together?
No, and it's also I actually made a stats today on my Facebook, which I'm trying to pull up here. There we go.
Another day of humanity where people cherry pick a viewpoint that alienates or aligns with their selected cult. Yep.
Well, the people can't see it, so I'm gonna have to.
Well, if you want to read it out to them, you can.
I'm trying to like figure out how I can do this where it doesn't show all of my Facebook. Yeah, basically it said.
I feel that.
Yeah. Another day in humanity where people cherry pick a viewpoint that aligns with their selected cult, act like virtuous victims, but don't realize they perpetuate their own life suck because they lack the accountability as an individual. So basically what I'm saying is they identify with a group of people and they cherry pick something that aligns with their personality.
Yeah.
And then they'll shit on it the
very next time they get the chance.
Yeah, like wait a minute, if you're there, then why are you doing this? very contradictive, hypocritical.
Yeah.
Not. I don't know. Not somebody you really want in your fucking circle. That's for sure.
I mean, like, I'm dealing with that now. Like, you know, trying to get rid of that person and those people around me now. Because I'm like, you said a lot of shit. And it was a lot of shit that made me rock with you because I thought that's how you were moving. But then when put in that situation, like, you're exactly who you talk shit on.
Yeah.
Like, you're exactly who you said, oh, they should never do this. You should never make these choices. And I'm just like, nah. Like, I'm trying to surround myself with people that, like, do what the fuck you said you were going to do. Like, if it came out my mouth saying I was going to do it, that's what I meant.
All right. As I mentioned before, I mentioned Ron Paul. Are you familiar with Ron Paul?
Not really, so I'm paying attention.
Ron Paul is a libertarian. He is pretty much... He's a doctor. His son is Rand Paul, also in Congress, a chip off the old block, also a doctor. The dude is basically just about, like, eliminating government in your life, like minimal existence of government, ending the Fed, getting rid of taxes, stuff like that. This is who this guy is. He just wants liberty in the hands of the people. But he posted a video on USAID, which is, you know, he's going to unwrap right here. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to go back to our screen cap, and then boom.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the weekly report. Audit USAID, then shut it down. As of this writing, when you attempt to access the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID website or social media pages, you are informed that this site can't be reached. The media reports that the new Trump administration has not only frozen USAID activities, but may be planning on bringing it back under control of the U.S. State Department. Other reports, including statements by Elon Musk, suggest that it will be closed completely. If true, the closing of USAID may be one of the most significant changes.
You know what SAID is?
No.
It's pretty much buying political influence, funding other countries. It's kind of like, say you're behind on your rent for like 3 months and I'm borrowing $500 a month from you.
Right.
And you're not paying your rent. That's basically what the U.S. has been doing.
President Trump has made among the many dramatic actions in his first couple of weeks in office. Many Americans may still have the idea that USAID is a government agency delivering relief at disaster site overseas. They may still remember the bags of rice or grain with the USAID logo on them, but that is not USAID. USAID is a key component of the U.S. government's regime change operations worldwide. USAID spends billions of dollars every year propping up NGOs overseas that function as shadow governments, eating away at elected governments that the U.S. interventionists want to overthrow. Behind most U.S. foreign policy disasters overseas, you will see the fingerprints of USAID. From Ukraine to Georgia and far beyond, USAID is meddling in the internal affairs of foreign countries, something that would infuriate Americans if it was happening to us. When President Trump ordered a 90-day pause in USAID activities, we quickly learned just how pernicious the agency really is. The U.S. media reported that Ukrainian press outlets were scrambling to keep their doors open when the U.S. dollar stopped flowing. It is reported that 90% of the media outlets are funded by the U.S. government. This means that there is virtually no independent media in Ukraine, only fake news outlets willing to toe the U.S. administration's propaganda line. Does anyone think these wholly U.S.-funded news outlets would ever publish a story that the U.S. government did not want published? This is plainly immoral, but it is also dangerous. Most U.S. mainstream media stories about Ukraine have their origin in the reporting of the local media. From battlefield news to casualties to the state of the Ukrainian military, the news from Ukraine is being written by U.S. government-backed media outlets and then picked up by U.S. and other Western media. It is a closed propaganda loop that not only propagandizes the U.S. citizens but also feeds false information into U.S. government outlets, such as Congress.
Anyways, I'm not going to watch the whole video. He pretty much said what I said in a lot of words.
That's what it sounded like.
The political influence. Like we're gonna fund you. We're gonna give you this much money over here, but you're gonna operate and you're gonna function the way I say you operate and function. And if your government doesn't allow you, I'm going to give you the assets in which to stage a coup or overthrow them.
Which does not surprise me somehow. Like I feel like it should, but it doesn't. It's like I've known it the whole time, and I just needed to pay attention. Like I needed to pay attention and not be the only one saying it.
Right. No, and sometimes when you're the only one saying it, you look like the crazy person.
Yeah.
But and that's fine by me. Again, I'm not one of the people that just goes. I mean, if I'm not one of those people that's going to, like we just talked about, the echo chambers.
Yeah.
But I also, if I'm wrong about something, I want to know. Don't just tell me I'm wrong. Show me I'm wrong. And if I'm gonna learn from it and rebound, that's a win. I'm fine with being wrong. But I just need to be shown where I'm wrong, and then we can course correct it. And if not, you're just going to sit there, and like a lot of people do, and they just defer and they start talking shit, or they just like insult or whatever. Or, that's their built-in arguments. Then you've already won. You're right. There's no need to go and unwrap it any further. But what else do we got here? Shit. Anything you want to cover?
Not that I can think of. I mean, like I said, I've been kind of distracted lately, so just trying to catch up with everything.
There we go.
Yeah, I really need one of these pronoun fitness shirts and hoodies.
Yeah, man.
For the gym.
Now, this one just has the logo on the front here from the Stay Moist, Just a Tip merch site. It just has the frontal logo, whereas this one here... let's see how you can access the back. It has the logo and the thing on there. My pronouns are whey and them, like whey protein. Crafty, aren't I? But then Josh also made, those things. But I have this coming in either today or tomorrow. Mm-hmm. That, the hoodie, the Bat Moist.
I gotta get one of those mama hats too.
Yes. And then the Moist and Meaty beater. And then
I'm gonna rock one of those this summer for sure.
And the Will Fuck for Food Stamps beater.
I don't know how much longer we're gonna be able to use that.
Right. Food stamps might not be a commodity anymore.
No.
I don't know.
Or at least if it's straightened up the way they said, illegals won't have them, which I don't know how they got them in the first place.
Oh, it's because they tried to give them asylum and they want them as people that will vote for them.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you're buying political influence, just bringing them over here and giving them the assets to people that, I don't know. If they just created more opportunities for citizens to actually be self-sustaining, there wouldn't be that much of a need for food stamps or have,
Yeah.
education set to where people do it individually like we spoke of. And then they can pick and choose what they want to do with their life. It's like incentivize being, a critical thinker rather than punish people for it. You know what I mean?
I do think, because I do think like there's some shit like I didn't learn in public school that had you taught me that and we spent more time on that, I'd probably be better off in life right now.
Right.
Like we didn't go over like how money works and shit.
No, and they never teach you how to do taxes either.
No.
In school. How to see that the government is stealing from you and misallocating your funds too.
And you know what? They did that perfectly in public school so that we never fucking questioned it.
Right.
So if you never learned it on your own, you didn't question that shit. You just went along with whatever they said was the right thing to do.
True story. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, but that's just the whole thing. They don't want people to go further than what they see. They just want to, shock and awe freaking titles and just go with what, you know, is in front of them and not do any due diligence to figure out why things move the way they move, if you will.
Yeah, you gotta figure out how it works.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. But that is your first stream. There's a link up there on the top for our little site of merch. If you wish, hit the like and subscribe.
I made it through my first stream.
You made it to your first stream with many more to come, I'm sure. We're just gonna.
Man, I'm only gonna get better at it.
Yeah, me too. This one was better than my last one because I was like doing some mechanical errors and like talking about stuff on the screen that people couldn't see and like they could see it. But I think I did better on this one. Let me know if I did. If not, you know, then I did fine. But yeah, man, we're gonna go and continue the rest of our days as normal human beings. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe. I am King Benjamin Cage.
I'm Taz the Spaz.
Taz the Spaz with all the jazz. And we're going to get on up out of here. And it was good, you know, hanging out with everybody. So,
Y'all have a good day.
yes, sir.